Hello everyone, today I wanted to leave a message. I don't know if we'll have the chance to talk like this again, but today is the best day to do so. I've noticed that for a while now, we haven't been making YouTube videos as usual. There's only been the Tawan Dama news station reporting breaking news, and then we've gone quiet. We haven't disappeared. It's just that there wasn't anything worth sharing. If anyone who follows the Kiangtawan Suthama page has already read it, you've probably already. The story wasn't really worth telling. It was just filled with feelings of sadness and despair. There was no hope, and if there's no hope, I don't want to say anything that will make anyone feel hopeless. But during the period when we weren't making YouTube videos, it turned out that some people who only followed us on YouTube and not on the Facebook page said they didn't follow us there anyway. They just waited for the news on YouTube. We found out about this later. We didn't know that people who followed us on YouTube didn't follow us on Facebook until the news from Tawan Dama station came out on YouTube. We don't know how many there are. But when something related to that issue came up, those who followed the Facebook page were too shy to show themselves. It's difficult to get those who follow on YouTube together, which makes the work hard. But finally, at this point, it feels like it's really the end. Because there's a signal from a real source, passed on to real experts. It's a song that the Chinese sang. If translated into Thai, it's "Father, don't cry." But looking at the lyrics translated into Thai, not just the Thai lyrics, but the Chinese lyrics translated into Thai, we understand that it means this. In short, it's about Luang Por Damajao. Nowadays, at Wat Dhammakaya, people only know his guided meditation voice. Even the younger generation who come to the temple to make merit only have the opportunity to hear his guided meditation. They are not allowed to participate in any of the various merit-making activities, even though many projects are initiatives of Luang Por Damajao. For example, the Damajao pilgrimage we see in the pictures, which was an initiative of Luang Por Damajao since 2011, and started for the first time in the year 2012, New Year's Day. And this has continued every year until now, which is the 14th year. But it's incredibly unbelievable that when Luang Por Damacheo was charged with criminal offenses and forced out of his position as abbot in 2017, the power of Article 44 was used to raid the temple in order to find and arrest him. But coincidentally, after searching for 3 days, they couldn't find him. Then the government acted as if someone inside the temple was pulling the strings, as mentioned in the novel, Dragon Hiding Its Body, referring to someone with a personal vendetta. But when we look at their background, and up to the present, it's quite clear that they are actually acting on a plan to have Islam conquer Buddhism in Thailand. Some say that they used to be in the south and were Muslims before. Then in 2018, a group led by Mr. I visited and paid respects to the enlightened monk and received confirmation that 06. Or Fra Maha Dr. Samchai was a Muslim who had become a monk. What happened then aligns with the Islamic plan to conquer the country, to assimilate or destroy Buddhism through the use of governing power. There were even documents circulating that contained a full plan for reforming the country into an Islamic system. They use women and money, but many of their plans are straightforward, sending spies to infiltrate, posing as good subordinates or close associates, and climbing the ranks to gain the abbot's trust. Whether it's a man or a woman doesn't matter, but ultimately, you can make the abbot fall into your trap, whether it's through drugs, addiction, or using women as bait. Any method depends on what the abbot is vulnerable to. But with Wat Phra Dhammakaya, when he first became a monk in 2006, he stayed in the temple and developed into a highly knowledgeable and sermon-oriented monk, even earning a doctorate. He has a style that some say is imitating Luang Por Damacheo, trying to follow in his footsteps. There's nothing wrong with following in the footsteps of one's father. If done out of filial piety, it means following his father's policies, plans, and aspirations. A good son should follow his father's path, but his motive is to overthrow his father's principles and do things that his father disapproves of, from what I've heard. People who know from the inside have said this from the beginning. The way he preaches, or rather, luang por damacheo, delivers, is disliked. The essence of it is that his sermons use high-level terminology, as if he's afraid people won't know he's highly educated. But it makes it difficult for the listeners to understand. Luang Por wants his sermons to reach all levels of followers, not just those with high education. If someone can't understand high-level terminology, that's considered a failure. However, he probably doesn't accept this. He thinks he's capable, but it's not the quality Luang Por is looking for. Luang Por didn't criticize him, he just didn't praise him. From his perspective, he probably thinks everyone admires him, and he has a doctorate, a rarity in the past. He thinks no one else has a higher education than him, and therefore sees himself as someone who could become an abbot. Then, in the year Luang Por Damacheo turned 60, he released a song for his Kindergarten of Dreams school that implied his time was running out, that he was getting old, and that he hadn't yet done his true work, meditating with his eyes closed. In that song, he seemed to be asking those with merit and virtue, give them a chance to do some real work. When this song was played in schools, it meant it was being sent to the sponsors, the children who were sponsors outside the temple, those who were virtuous and capable at that time. The fact that this song was played indicated a desire to reach out to those with merit and virtue, those who hadn't yet come to the temple ordained. To receive the signal and encourage them to come to the temple, to ordain as monks, and to receive the teachings. Of course, through the Dhammakaya wisdom he possessed, both his clairvoyance and his Dhamma eye, he already knew who had the merit and virtue to take his place and allow him to confidently continue the dissemination and transmission of the Dhammakaya teachings. He would then join the team and continue the teachings. He used this song to convey this through the Kindergarten of Dreams program, a satellite program broadcast worldwide. In 2013, there were virtuous individuals who fit the criteria, whom he had sought out to take on this responsibility. They were coordinated to form a team and work together in a dream, a secret operation, which he called a special covert operation. Because in that era, starting from 2009, many people experienced it firsthand and shared stories that there were 6 individuals in the temple who intended to become the abbot. The previous abbot must appoint him. But if 06 can't get 01 to accept him, and he wants to be the abbot, how do you think he'll do it? And given his background as a Muslim, what do you think all the Buddhist teachings he's studied are for? Just to be able to see through Buddhists? But it doesn't mean he believes in karma or merit. There are many people who are academically gifted but can't make a living. It's because they studied just to pass exams or to show off their knowledge, but they didn't use it. That's why there are people like that. And 06 is like that too, thinking that his high level of education, especially in Buddhism, is the highest. Therefore, he studies to be able to see through people, to deceive people into thinking he knows, but he doesn't believe in karma or merit at all. And what happens is what he does. What he does to this person, what he does to that person. Those who have experienced it firsthand tell each other, it's quite clear that he doesn't believe in karma or merit. He studies to be able to see through Buddhists only. So, he knows what is evil, but he does it because he doesn't feel that it has any consequences for him. I mean, if people committed sins and there were no consequences, the secular world judged him guilty. He learned a different way, believing he was innocent. If he were guilty, he could be held accountable. But since no one could hold him accountable, It was as if he hadn't done anything wrong. And as long as no one could hold him accountable, he could continue doing what he did. It became a recurring tactic. Then, because he wasn't accepted by the abbot, even on March 10, 2017, when the temple reopened after being besieged for 23 days, the abbot's position was affected by secular news. They claimed he wasn't pure enough to continue as abbot, or wasn't suitable. They used worldly language to say that if he was tainted, he wasn't worthy of being abbot, and therefore he was removed. This means Abbot.1 was removed even though he hadn't committed any crime. He hadn't even been informed of the charges against him. He didn't even know what the charges were. He hadn't even turned himself in because he was ill. And they used intimidation and coercion to rush his arrest, using media and news to sensationalize the situation, making it seem like he was unsuitable. Ultimately, it led to his downfall. From the abbot, even if he needed to receive treatment at the temple, the authorities would have to find a new abbot. Some people said that person number 06 even called the district head monk to ask for appointment as abbot, but the head monk said that if the original abbot was still alive or contactable, the original abbot had to choose who would replace him because each temple has its own policy in establishing it. It depends on the abbot when building each temple. Each abbot has their own reasons for building a temple. Some temples are built to be lived in permanently, just meditating, not interacting with lay people, not receiving guests, not soliciting donations, and would be in a quiet forest temple. But if the temple's policy is to teach Dharma to lay people, then it will be open, and they will teach and preach. If it's a temple that only teaches meditation, it will be open for people to practice Dharma and teach meditation. If it's a temple for ordination, it will teach Dharma, Pali, and so on. It depends on the abbot's policy. In the case of Wat Phra Dhammakaya back in 2017, it was the abbot, the former Luang Por Dhammachayo, who had to announce who would take responsibility. At that time, it was announced that it would be Phra Kru Ithi Indako, also known as Luang Pai Mu. And to this day, Luang Pai Mu has continued in this role, eventually rising to prominence as an advisor. Most recently, he was appointed as an advisor. However, the mysterious and complex structure of the temple, the behind-the-scenes workings, are things that the people within the temple cannot access. The temple staff themselves don't know. Those who enter the temple but are outsiders cannot know anything. If the temple doesn't allow it, then it becomes a matter of the deep secrets within the temple that no one knows what's happening. Those who know and disagree have been eliminated. Those who remain are those who agree with the policies or have received some kind of benefit. This is why, even though there were irregularities from the beginning, when Luang Por Dhammachayo was accused of criminal offenses, whatever they may be, because of his true innocence, no one within the temple, no one who is a disciple of the monks or who manages the temple, could find a way to help him get out. The issue of being guilty or having an arrest warrant issued against someone is something that can be resolved because no crime has been committed yet. It's not like the court has ruled you guilty and then you flee. That's very difficult. But here, it's just about not appearing to acknowledge the charges. And it's escalated to the point of an arrest warrant being issued. Resolving this isn't difficult, but the problem is that within the temple, there's no attempt to resolve it. And those who don't resolve it aren't just anyone. They're the ones who think they're the smartest, those who follow in the footsteps of 01, and have been following in the footsteps of 01 all along. They've become people who can leave the temple comfortably today, without anyone opposing them or caring about them. This allows them to dictate and command whatever they want, wherever they want, and make everything go according to their wishes. And they are 06, doing what Islam wants. Is this an accusation? It's just information that has come from various sources. And judging from the circumstances, that's how it is. We're sharing this even though we haven't seen any news about O6 being involved in any of the temple's activities.